For these next three problems, we want to find the intercepts. That is the x-intercept and the y-intercept for each one of these lines. Now here's what we know. When x is 0, this value right here, this is the y-intercept. When y is 0, this value here is the x-intercept. That is the point at which the line intercepts the x-axis or the y-axis. So in problem 19, let's just draw a little table here, and the intercepts occur where? Where x is 0 or y is 0. So why don't we start here? Choose x to be 0. And if you choose x to be 0, you substitute it in here. 0 times anything is 0, so you just get y equals 1. All right? Now if you choose y to be 0, and I'll put a little star there to remind me that's the one I chose. If you choose y to be 0, then when you substitute it up here, we're going to get 0 is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. I'll subtract that 1. I get negative 1 equals 1/2 x multiplied by 2. We'll get negative 2 is equal to x. So I get a negative 2 here. So accordingly now, back over here, when x is 0, you get the y-intercept. So here's the y-intercept. The y-intercept, I'm going to write it like this. The y-intercept, that's going to be 0 and 1. And the x-intercept, that is at negative 2 and 0. Now sometimes people just shortcut this and would say that the y-intercept is just 1 and the x-intercept is negative 2. In number 21, if we make up a little table, if we choose x to be 0, y is 0, well, now it turns out then that when x is 0, this component here is the y-intercept. But then when y is 0, that component there is the x-intercept. So it looks like the x and y-intercepts are the same. So let's say that the y-intercept is 0, 0, as well as the x-intercept being 0, 0. Now in 23, we've got this quadratic. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to factor that, right? It's just calling out to be factored. So y is equal to x times x minus 1. Now I'll make a table. And when x is equal to 0, well, if you put 0 back in here, you get 0 times negative 1, which is 0. All right? So we get 0, 0 as a point on the graph. And then if we let y equal 0, well, I'm going to put that 0 back up here into y and solve it for x. So let's do that. If I do that, I'll get 0 is equal to x minus 1, from which here we will get x equals 0, and from here we'll get a 1. So I get these points. 0 and 0, which we got already, and then also 1 and 0. So let's summarize here. Here's our y-intercepts, x-intercepts. So the y-intercepts, I'm going to go all the way back to the top left. Y-intercepts occur where? Where the x component is 0. Now, I've got two of those, right? I've got this one, and, well, that's it. I've got that one. So we have, here's our y-intercept at 0, 0, and the x-intercept right here, that x-intercept, that's going to occur back over here where the y component is 0. And if I look at my points, I've got this one up here, which corresponds to that one. So that was the same one. But then I have this one. So we have two x-intercepts. One at 0, 0, and one at 1, 0.